The international community has continuously recognized Kazakhstan for its peacekeeping achievements. The support of the anti-nuclear movement and the mission of the Kazakh Peacekeeping Battalion show that Kazakhstan is a state that supports the principles of peace and global security. Strengthening and improvement of the Republic's future cooperation in peacekeeping with the United Nations were discussed in Nur-Sultan. The capital hosted the 5th UN Symposium on Partnership and Technologies for Peacekeeping, where the UN representatives praised the work of Kazakhstan missions.
I think Kazakhstan has the potential to help us in different areas where we have increasing needs. And I'm talking about specific assets, high-level, high-skilled assets that would enable us to increase our mobility, our reactivity, our situational awareness, our ability to protect ourselves against IED, improvised explosive devices. The potential in Kazakhstan to provide UN with qualified officers, including women.
Казахстан признан в качестве активного государства-миротворца со стороны Организации Объединенных Наций.
Kazakhstan has been recognized as an active peacekeeping country by the United Nations. Kazakhstan adheres to the policy promoted by Kazakh First President Nur-Sultan aimed to perform the country's commitments and obligations within the United Nations. Kazakhstan conducts successful activities within United Nations peacekeeping efforts.
В общих миротворческих усилиях Организации Объединенных Наций.
Earlier, the UN Symposium on Peacekeeping took place in Italy, Austria, South Korea, and Germany. Kazakhstan's transit potential has vast opportunities for further growth and development. In addition to economic benefits, the increase in freight traffic volumes has a multiplier effect on many economic sectors. Currently, about 10,000 cars drive along the Western Europe, Western China International Transit Corridor section in Aktobe region per day. The highway's reconstruction contributed to the increase of freight traffic along Kazakhstan's section of the road by more than 2.5 times. Meanwhile, active operation of the transit route fueled the development of small and medium businesses. 54 campsites were constructed along the highway in Aktobe region. There are 137 roadside service facilities in Aktobe region along Republican and international scale highways, including 54 roadside service facilities along the Western Europe, Western China International Transit Corridor. 75 facilities meet the requirements of Kazakhstan's national standards, including 4 facilities falling under the Category A, 4 facilities under Category B, 39 facilities under Category C, and 28 facilities under Category D. Significant saving of time is the main advantage of the Western Europe, Western China International Transit Corridor. Transportation of goods takes up to 1.5 months by sea and 14 days by railroads, while freight can be delivered along the highway in just 10 days. Before the highway was constructed, freight traffic along Kazakhstan was at 13 million tons per year. With this transport corridor, the value increased to 33 million tons per year. Experts believe that the active operation of the Western Europe, Western China International Transit Corridor will lead to the development of various types of businesses. Currently, there is ongoing construction of shops, cafes, car service stations, and parking places along Republican and international scale roads in the region. The European Union's new Central Asia strategy is aimed to enhance existing relations between the parties. The document is designed for the next 10 years and is based on the strategy that has been used since 2007. The main priority of the upgraded strategy is the sustainable development of the region. The strategy also focuses on developments such as political integration, security, environmental protection, climate change, education, and youth policy. According to the European Union's ambassador to Kazakhstan, Sven of Carlson, the document, which focuses to expand the range of multilateral relations, is opening up various new opportunities for the parties.
The enhanced partnership and cooperation agreement is, of course, a bilateral one, but indeed it will go hand in hand, and it has already given an attractive example to countries in the region So it's no coincidence that following the agreement with Kazakhstan, we are now negotiating both with Kyrgyzstan and also with Uzbekistan. And obviously, they are looking at the Kazakh agreement as a benchmark. So there is a natural kind of willingness and ambition to be as closely aligned as possible.
The European Union and the World Bank aim to improve water and energy security in Central Asia. According to experts of the EU, the region needs to focus on the rational use of water resources, otherwise the Central Asian countries will have to face certain negative economic effects. Experts believe that the shortage of water resources may bring about the slowdown of economic growth in the Central Asia region. In order to help establish the required mechanisms of efficient water and energy use in the area, the European Union and the World Bank are set to allocate a new grant worth 7 million euros. The financing will be used to support national and regional initiatives aimed to promote rational use of water resources in Central Asia.
Central Asia is a region that is completely marked by water in terms of its economic development. Water was essential to the development of agriculture in the lowlands of the regions. Water is essential to the production of electricity, also to the development of cities. So clearly water for many years has been an essential element of the development of the region.
Pilot projects aimed to introduce entrepreneurship lessons in Kazakh universities are ongoing in Kazakhstan. The new training program that promotes business skills among the youth will be implemented in several phases. The basic of entrepreneurship program has been developed in 60 universities in Kazakhstan. Both students and faculty will be involved in the education process. Experts from China, Russia, United Kingdom, Germany, as well as the European and Asian countries will share their best practices and trends with the attendees. According to experts, innovations in Kazakhstan's education will have a positive impact on the teaching practices, capacity building and competitiveness of the personnel, as well as the entrepreneurship developments in Kazakhstan.
Мы видим, что сейчас предпринимательское образование практически нужно в каждом.
We can see that entrepreneurship education should be available in almost every educational institution. Entrepreneurial skills such as creativity and design thinking are the skills of the 21st century. Modern young people cannot be in high demand without these competencies in the 21st century. Currently, young people are developing their startup projects in a variety of sectors, including IT, retail, education, and tourism. Therefore, their projects are being developed in completely diverse sectors.
Развитие инновационной экономики является главным трендом развития мировой.
Innovation economy is one of the major modern development trends in the global economy at the moment. Therefore, the world's leading countries and top companies are focused to achieve great success in innovation economy. Currently, entrepreneurship education forms a solid basis and provides a good opportunity for our universities to be actively involved in innovation economy establishment. Domestic tourism is gaining popularity in Kazakhstan. Last year, the number of Kazakh citizens who choose to spend vacations in the country totaled about 5 million people. According to EnergyProm.kz, 80% of domestic tourists preferred to stay in retreats and recreation facilities, and more than 16% of tourists traveled to natural sites and reserves, while 5% of vacationers visited sanatoriums and resort facilities. Experts believe that based on the statistics, Kazakh citizens became more interested in domestic tourism destinations. Kazakh tourism authorities organized the first exploratory tour for the tour operators.
Основная проблема, которую мы хотели решить посредством проведения этого информационного тура.
We aim to provide more information to tourists with this exploratory tour because many people don't know much about the destinations and tour products in Kazakhstan.
Отсутствие достойной, должной информации о тех или иных маршрутах либо турпродуктах.
Representatives of travel agencies will visit recreation facilities in the cities of Nur-Sultan, Almaty, Shymkent, as well as the regions of Akmola, Turkestan, East Kazakhstan, and Almaty. Within 2 days, in the resorts of Burabay and Zirandi, managers of tour operators and resort facilities signed about 180 agreements. During the trip, manuals will be prepared and Kazakhstan's resort areas will be promoted among the population. Last year, the number of domestic travelers has increased by 7%. We need to advertise Kazakhstan more widely. Our major anchor products are the cities of Almaty and Nur-Sultan, followed by other destinations. If more tourists arrive in our country, infrastructure will be improved and the quality of service will also be better. One of the most attractive tourist destinations is Shymkent. It is fun for vacationers with warm weather, sightseeing, as well as historical and cultural monuments and international events. The tourists are attracted to the hospitality of the south. Thousands of guests attend the Seyil Kosh Karata and Tulips Festival each spring. The local authorities pay special attention to the improvement of the tourist infrastructure.
В этом году начата реконструкция, строительство нового терминала, аэропорта города Шымкент, реконструкция, модернизация.
This year, the airport's new terminal is being built in Shymkent. Moreover, the railway station will be reconstructed. In addition, there are some major infrastructure projects. The football stadium and the Congress Center are being constructed. We want to increase the tourist attractiveness of the old town. Citizens of the Commonwealth of Independent States, Uzbekistan, Turkey, Malaysia, and Kazakhstan often choose Shymkent for religious tourism.
Граждане Турции, с Малайзии проявляют интерес к данному направлению, к данному виду туризма.
The concept for development of tourist industry in the country until 2023 has been adopted. Among the main tasks are promotion of domestic and foreign tourism and development of regional cultural and tourist clusters, as well as the increase of the share of tourist industry in the country's economy. Mangystau will celebrate its 1000th anniversary this fall. The Mangystau settlement was first mentioned in the 10th to 11th centuries documents dedicated to the Great Silk Road. Important information has become known due to the integrated expedition and research conducted as part of the modernization of Kazakhstan's identity program. Scientists from 7 countries have found evidence that the history of Mangystau dates back to the Neolithic era. Let's not be limited to 1 millennium. This figure refers to the city. Of course, there is earlier information about the place. In October, the research community will introduce the other news and findings to the public. Events dedicated to the historical date will begin in June 4th. The research conference and archaeological excavations will be organized as part of the celebration. A number of documentaries will be filmed, including by the National Geographic. Indeed, this date is very serious and important. We have never covered this topic. In general, there are not so many written sources about Mangystau, but the earliest ones belong to the 10th to 11th centuries. A very large project will be launched. The project will cover 2,000 years of history. The project will be related to the study of trade routes that pass through the territory of Mangystau. Now we will identify it as the northern branch of the Great Silk Road. Mangystau, which is rich in historical monuments and legends, will be as important as the historical cities of the Republic such as Taraz, Shymkent, Turkestan, and Almaty. The rich historical heritage of the country of the Great Steppe inspires foreigners. French engineer Jacques Ortet presented a comic book, Adventures of Jacques and Bill in Kazakhstan, Treasures of Genghis Khan. The storyline is based on the adventures of photographer Jacques and his talking bird Bill in Kazakhstan. With guide Dinara, they found the mysterious manuscript of the 13th century and went on a mission in search of the treasures of Genghis Khan.
Au départ, donc, pour moi, ça a toujours été une passion.
Adventure stories have always been my passion. I had lived in Kazakhstan for 4 years, which I enjoyed very much. In your nomadic history, there is something fabulous and alive. And of course, I have to tell about the hospitality of Kazakhstan. The history of the book and its characters are completely fictional. There is a female character in the book. I really wanted this main character to be charming and clever, like all Kazakh women. Having read the book, many of my friends want to go to Kazakhstan.
Et j'ai connecté en fin de compte avec ce que j'ai vécu pendant 4 ans.
Last year, the book was published in the homeland of the comic book in Belgium, as well as in France, Switzerland, and Canada. In Kazakhstan, the book was issued in Russian and French. The author will translate his work into Kazakh and English. Earlier, Jacques Ortet presented the book in Nur-Sultan and also organized a number of creative meetings in other cities of the country. Experts of the world film market say that products of the Kazakh film industry are of good quality with deep meaning. Contemporary works of Kazakh directors, screenwriters and actors gain recognition in leading foreign venues. The number of high-quality films by Kazakh filmmakers is increasing, and more of the film has joined the global box office. International viewers are very interested in films about history of the country of the Great Steppe, important personalities, as well as culture and traditions of Kazakhs.
Самое главное, чем больше мы будем иметь возможность расширить горизонт.
Most importantly, we expand the horizons of our viewers. This includes not only our local people, but also people who live in other countries. We want them to watch our history and our brave heroes. Many people are aware about modern Kazakhstan. How about who we were 500 years ago? We tell all about this in the film.
Лет назад. Обо всем этом, конечно, мы рассказали в этом фильме.
Kazakh Khanate, The Golden Throne, was showcased at the Cannes Film Festival. Foreign distributors have expressed interest in the film. Film critics and viewers highlight that the historical film, with elaborate decorations and impressive battle scenes, has all the chances to be seen in the European cinemas. Experts say that both foreign viewers and filmmakers are very attracted by the historical films with the beautiful Kazakh landscapes.
Et je trouve que les costumes, les effets spéciaux.
The costumes, special effects, the game and these battle scenes are exceptional. We are discovering the scenery, which is very beautiful and extraordinary. I am impressed and truly stunned.
On comprend bien l'âme kazakh au travers de ce que j'ai vu.
I understood the Kazakh soul well, judging by what I have seen in the film. This is a mix of courage and poetry. I got the impression that this corresponds to your country. I think that this film could be shown on a classic French channel. It makes me think about humanity and the world.
Presque française, vous voyez, parce que ce penchant ici.
Victories in international competitions and festivals are the proof of success and recognition of Kazakh cinema in the international level. The Amri feature film has won a number of prestigious awards in the United States, United Kingdom, and other European countries. The documentary also occupies an important role in the Kazakh film industry. Great attention is paid to this type of art in the country. As a result, the documentary film Legacy of Ancestors by film director Berik Jakhanov has been recently awarded. The film from the Turkic people of Kazakhstan has won a special jury prize at the 15th International Festival in Russia. Nearly 300 movies are filmed annually in Kazakhstan. Two young consummate musicians, Oljas Nurlanov from Pavlodar and Amir Jalimov from Russia's Saratov, have merged sounds of incompatible instruments, an accordion and a balalaika. The two young virtuosos met at the selection committee at the Gnestin's Russian Academy of Music in Moscow. Then they came up with the idea of creating an unusual duet.
Получилось сделать большую программу.
It turned out that we have made a big program. During this time of creating the program, in total, we have given 15 concerts. The repertoire of performance includes works adapted to the accordion and balalaika, including Kazakh kui. This is Amir's first trip to his historical homeland. He was absolutely immersed by the energy of the steppe music.
Наша цель вообще вывести инструменты на...
Our goal is to bring the instruments to a higher level, to a classical level, and to classic scenes. Since we have planned the trip to Kazakhstan, Oljas told me that I need to give a Kazakh performance. He recommended playing the adai kui. An accordion and a balalaika are usually performed separately or as part of orchestras. However, Oljas and Amir broke these stereotypes. The musicians could easily understand each other, and their artistry is a source of the public's delight.
Oljas біздің мақтанышымыз, өйткені
Oljas is our pride. Despite his age, he has achieved great success. He has won more than 20 different prestigious international music competitions. Today, he is a professional in his field and a master of playing the Russian musical instrument.
Қазақтың бір сондай талантты, талапты баласы деп айтуға болады.
In the near future, the musicians will give concerts in Spain, Italy, Slovakia, Japan, and China.